Hello everyone. Am I audible to all of you?
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay. I am Sripan Mandal. I am currently working at IIT BHU Varanasi as a Prime Minister Research Fellow. I have to conduct this type of live sessions once in a week with all of you for this course, Computational Physics, where I will solve the questions from previous year assignments and which will help all of you in solving this year assignments as well. Okay, I will share my screen and one of you please say whether it is visible or not. Okay. And if anyone left some due to some internet connectivity between the session, don't need to panic because this lecture video will be uploaded in the YouTube. From here you can see it. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, so as I said, I am Shripan, and here you can see my institute email ID. You can put your queries on that email ID also, and you can put the queries on the discussion forum for this particular course also. So I am going to start with the questions of the previous year assignments. So here is the first question. Is it visible to all of you? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah, please interact with me. Otherwise, this is kind of like I am talking to myself only, so that should not happen. Okay. So, first of all, I want to know how many of you can answer it. So, you can put the answer in the chat box, and otherwise, you can raise your hands. Then I will ask. And if anyone cannot do so, then I will do by myself. So, first of all, I am giving the opportunity to all of you to tell me how to approach this problem. Anyone? Shomitra. So you are telling it 4. Can you tell me why? I think you can.
Because it's giving the answer of 4.5. That's the 7 plus
2.
2 by 2. That's 4.5. But n is defined as an integer, so it
Okay.
cannot give the 4.5. So it will give 4.
Okay, fine. That's correct. And anyone else have any queries regarding this question? Hello? There are almost 10 students in this class, so I think not only Shomitra is in this class. So, Rohan Pratap, so you don't have any queries, right?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So, yeah. So you can do write a program in the fortran, okay, like this kind of thing, and then you can print n. You will see that it will give you 4, and instead of integer, if you define n as some real number, then you will find that print n will give you 4.5. So you can check by doing this programming by your own, and that will give you a much better understanding of how this variable operations goes on in Fortran. Okay, so let's move on to the second question. So yeah, again I am giving the opportunity to all of you first, not show me through this time. I think someone else has to give the answer. So is the question visible to all of you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so tell me. What will be the answer? Apart from Shomitra, anyone can answer. Anyone? Anyone knows? Hello? Hello? Okay, Shomitra, can you answer this?
Yeah, I can say the meaning, but I have to read the options. So in that case, this is giving this is reading the file from the define open in 5 unit and giving the format as default, that is star, and it is reading n from this unit file open 5 file.
See, actually you are right, but this number 5 is assigned to some specific
Yes, it is
case.
default. 5 and 6 is for default use.
Yes, so in this case,
So
5
in
if
this case, all default. Yes, yeah.
yes, so this is basically the output is by default printed on the screen. So
Yeah.
yes,
Understand.
but if in case like read 10 comma star n, then it will be a file which will be denoted by 10 and n will be read from that file, right?
Yeah. So writing 5 or writing star is same.
No, this is like reading means something is you are reading from some file, okay, and
Yeah.
write is
Yeah.
something different, write or print.
No. I'm saying that if we replace this 5 by star, then it is
Yeah.
meaning same.
Write 5 by star, that will mean
No, read star comma star n.
yeah, that will be the same thing. Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
that is what I wanted to point.
And you see that if we take this right, okay, here this term, what will that mean?
That writes mean it will print out
It will
n.
print out and
Hmm.
that will be printed to the screen itself, right?
Yes.
Because
yes,
this is
yes.
6. If it is
Yes,
then
yes.
let's say if it is 7, then it will give some output to some another file, okay?
Yes. The unit 6 file.
Yeah, fine. Okay, let's anyone else have any query? Hello? Hello? Guys, we have 7 students here and just I am Shomitra are just interacting. This is not the motive of this class. Please interact. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So yeah, this is a straightforward thing. At least for this question, I am expecting answer from someone else. I think this has been studied in the discussions which the faculties are doing. So please answer it. This is a straightforward question. The question is, which of the following, when called, returns only a single value to the main program? So here,
Sir?
yeah,
Sir, function.
function. Okay, so how can you say that? I mean,
Sir, function.
what is the difference between a function and a subroutine?
Sir, actually, I don't know about much about the subroutine.
Okay,
So I know about functions. I have studied in different other languages too.
okay,
So generally, functions return a single value to the main program in which the function has been called.
okay. So two main difference between function and subroutine can be seen from here. Is it visible? These two things. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
when we are defining a subroutine, you can see that we don't need to define its type, like whether it is integer or real or anything else. But when we are defining some function, you have to define the type of function, which is the real in this case, right? So this is a difference. And the second thing is, when we are defining the subroutine, you can say that the output can be an array itself or anything else. It can be some number, it can be some array, it can be some matrix. But when you have a function, it actually gives only a result in terms of a particular number or something else. And also, the procedure to call a subroutine or a function, that will also be different. When we call the subroutine, let's say this is a subroutine and then you have a main program. When you need to call this subroutine, so you just need to write that call subroutine. I mean, here you need to write call and then subroutine this type. And here you can see how the function can be called. So basically what it did, that let's say my norm xyz, this function is defined above, right here, and then you are calling this function and you see that this result is given a name a in this particular program. Okay, everyone understand this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sit. So you understand it, right? Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's move to this the next question. Okay, so let's say here are some questions which gives that Google up for the uniform random generation in F90 or F95 language, which are two versions of fortran, and print a random number on screen, whether the number will be between 0.0 to 1.0, whether it will be -1 to +1, or whether it is 0 or 1, or it will be -5 to plus 0.5. So basically what it did is, anyone can answer it? Hello?
Sir, it will be option A, I guess.
Option A. Who is telling it? Shagnik.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So did you perform this kind of programming?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So how do you perform? Can you tell us?
Sir, there is a function of generating random number.
Okay.
So then, if we give a range,
Mhm.
then random numbers are generated, like 100,000. How many we want to reach?
Okay, fine. Thank you. So here is a kind of programming which will give us the values. Okay, so what we can do, okay, can anyone tell us that what is the need of implicit none when we are defining or when we are writing the program? If we don't do this, what will be the problem? Can anyone answer it? Shagnik, you are doing programming, so
Extremely sorry, sir. I forgot actually. No names. I
okay.
forgot.
So basically what happens in Fortran, if you don't use the implicit none, then the alphabets from A to most probably N, Fortran will take it as an integer itself. This is an inbuilt version. Then you cannot define those functions or define those numbers or alphabets as some other thing. So for that reason, first thing is has to do that we have to write this implicit none, and therefore we can define the alphabets as we wish. Okay. Okay, Shagnik.
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
So
Okay.
can I make a comment?
Yes. Yes.
So I think this implicit none was not in the Fortran 77. It was included in 99, 90 and 95.
Okay, so I need to
I
check
think
that.
in Fortran 77 it was not there in implicit none. There what you have told that up to n it was taking some real or integer, or then others is taking, and for 90 for long program it was making some difficulty to uh, when this program will give wrong, then it is cross checking will be very
Yes, yes,
tedious. So for that, when it is updated to Fortran 90 or 95, this implicit none was right.
yes, it's true. Absolutely. Thank you, Soumitra. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So here, so first of all, what we do in this program, we just generate a random number like r. Okay, and so this is just one random number generation. Now, if instead of generating just one number, we we are trying to generate thousands of random numbers and then calculate their sum. And the question is asking that what will be the sum of thousand random numbers. So can anyone tell by some intuition that what will be the sum of thousand random numbers?
Sir, the option C will be correct. It will be between 400 and
So you perform this.
yes, sir. Sir,
Okay.
generally the probabilities of getting the numbers are between 500, around 500. So taking the average comes around
Yes,
400. So
absolutely right. So I think the others are not commenting anything. So how many of you know some kind of programming? The present all the students. Sagnik is doing. I think Shaumitro is doing. But the others, what about others? Do you know some programming? Some basic, how to write some program? Anish, Anish. Okay, so you know Fortran or anything else? You can unmute yourself. Gapfar, Gapfar.
Yeah, I know, sir.
You know Fortran or anything else?
Yeah, sir, but previously I did, but I forgot now.
Yeah, it's about practice, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Rabia, Rabia. Okay, Anish, MATLAB. Okay. Tejas.
No, sir, I don't know.
So, okay. So you can learn some programming through this course also. How to write the program.
Oh, yes, sir.
So do that. Fine. So here we are. So what this program did actually. So basically implicit none is clear right now. Now what you do, that you are putting an array, say R, which will have a thousand of elements. Okay. So this line gives you thousand of elements in a array. I mean an array with thousand of spaces to filled up with elements. Then, as Shagnik was suggesting, that we have some inbuilt function or subroutine in the Fortran called random number, and this call will generate thousand of random numbers. Okay, and each one of them will be within 0 and 1.0, and then if you print them, then you can see that all of them are within 0 and 1. And then if we use the sum function, that will sum up all the values, all the thousand values, and that will give you the sum of thousand values. And you will see, as Shagnik was suggested, that this summation is almost every time. How much time you can generate this random number and can execute this code, it will be around 500.
सीधा
So
पहले सब.
Gaffer, please unmute mute
Sir,
yourself.
it's like a Gaussian, I think. Means the
Yes. So it will be a Gaussian and it will have some mean in between the
yes, sir.
400 and 600, around 500, right? Okay.
Sir,
Uh,
means I want to know means why this is a Gaussian only means is it have any physical application or something?
See, whenever you are generating some random numbers, okay, so that will follow a Gaussian distribution kind of thing. Whenever it is random, okay, and let's say if you are don't generating it randomly, then it will have some skew symmetric or something else distribution. So Gaussian randomness number is like how what kind of shape a Gaussian random number Gaussian distribution have. So this kind of a shape will be there, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the thousand numbers and there will be some means of them. What will happen if we repeat this programming or the execution of this program multiple times? What will happen that you will find some point there, some point there, and if you do multiple times this programming, then it will see the mean of each of the values will give you this peak, and the other things will have less probability than this mean. So then this is kind of a histogram of the values. Let's say you have a 500 here, and that will have the maximum probability of happening or the out as a output, and the other values, let's say this is 400 kind of thing and this is the 600, then that they will have some lesser probability than 500, and that will give a histogram of the values kind of this thing, and that will make the Gaussian profile. Okay.
Sir.
So are you trying to get some conclusion from central limit theorem?
Yes, it is related to central limit theorem. Absolutely correct. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you. So then again, the same question, and here you see that already you have calculated the mean, the summation, which will be around 400 to 600. So if you have thousand of random numbers and the mean is within 400 to 600, then obviously the mean will be around 0.4 and 0.6 within this range. Correct? Hello? Shagnik?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think we don't need a discussion on this particular question. So then let's move on to the next question. So I think this is the last question for today's class, because the first assignment only have 7 questions. And okay, so what it tells that calculate the mean of 100 random numbers, and that we call x1, and the mean of 10,000 random numbers, which we call x2. So the theoretical mean for a uniform distribution of random numbers is 0.5. So this is a given value. Let's say if you have a uniform distribution of random numbers, the theoretical mean will be 0.5. That's fine. Now what we have two distribution of random number. One have 100 random numbers, another has 1000 random numbers, and we can calculate the mean of them separately, and then we can calculate the deviation from theoretical mean. For x1 it is given by this, and for x2 it is y2, right? So now we need to tell which of these equations or which of the relations is true for this case. So can anyone tell me which will be the correct answer? Let's say we have two samples, one have sample size 100, another have sample size 10,000, and you are calculating these two quantities, let's say y1 and y2, you need to check what is the relation between these two. Can anyone tell me by some intuition that what will happen?
Sir, I guess y1 will be greater than y2.
So how you are that much sure?
Sir, increasing the sample size will give us better estimate of the mean.
Yes.
It will be close to 0.5.
Yes, absolutely correct. So we have so many times left, so I think this last question that will have some a bit of programming, and so I think I am going to show how the program can be written. Okay, so that is also shown in one of the slides, in the last slide. So I just say how to do this. Is it visible to all of you, this programming? Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yeah. So what I did is basically first of all I am just giving the implicit none. Then I am defining two arrays. One will have 100 elements, another will have 10,000 elements. Okay. Then these things are some variables which will be used throughout the programming, and I just define themselves as real numbers. Then I call the random number function, or sorry, this is subroutine, and that will give us an random number, say r, which will generate 100 random numbers, and this line will generate 10,000 random numbers. And then we can print them, that what is the size of them, right? So it will give size of r will give us 100 and size of d will give us 10,000. So it is basically giving the number of elements in an array as its output. And then we are just going to calculate the x1 and x2, which will be the mean. Okay, so this is the way you can calculate a mean of a kind of array with say multiple elements. So what you will do, the summation of all the elements and by the number of elements, so that will give you the mean. And then we are just printing them in the prompt or terminal as this, that print mean of 100 random numbers is x1, print mean of 10,000 random numbers is x2, and print theoretical mean. It will be given in this way, that it will ask you this line, print theoretical mean. It will ask you to write the theoretical mean in the prompt, and if you not wish to do so, you can just give this value, that x naught equals to 0.5. You don't need to write these two lines, but this is kind of, I mean, the application of fortran programming which I want to discuss. That's why I read these two lines. Okay, so then what I do, that I calculate that y1 and y2, which the questions are suggesting, that you need to calculate the deviations, like y1 is absolute x1 minus this, y2 is absolute x2 minus 0.5. So that's how I am calculating this. Okay, so that will give us y1 and y2, and then we can print those two things, and then we can use a if loop. Okay, that will have some logical statements. Let's say if y2 greater than y1, then it will print that y2 is greater than y1. Else if y2 less than y1, then it will print that y1 is greater than y2. And else if y2 is equals to y1, then it will print y1 equals to y2. Else it will print any of the greater, lesser and equal to is possible. Then I am closing the if loop, and then I am closing the end program. So how many of you understand this program? I think Sagnik, Somitro, they can understand it. Also Anish is doing some programming through MATLAB. but this is kind of easy programming, so maybe he will also understand. Tejas, can you understand it?
Yes, sir, not completely, but
Okay, so you got some feel, right, how the programming can be
yes.
written.
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay. Gaffar? Gaffar. Okay, fine. So let's do something which will give all of us a little bit more feel how the programming goes on. Okay, let's try to do the things that how the outputs can be generated and how the programming is giving the outputs. So for that I am going to show you the last program in this file, and I am for now I just want to delete these things. Is this window visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just wait for a few minutes.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Sir, actually, I use one compiler known as Genie to run Fortran codes. Sir, is
Jenny.
there any? Yes, sir. Sir, is there
Actually,
any?
I have Linux Ubuntu installed in my laptop. Okay,
Okay.
so I use basically G Fortran, and I write those codes in just gedit, the text editor inbuilt within Linux. So you can use multiple. I mean, there are multiple options to do the programming. There are Visual Studio. There are something Force 95 as something like that. That is not a problem, I think. But all of the IDs or all of the softwares may have some different restriction about how to write them, but the code structure will be same. Let's say what will happen that here you can see the all of the lines are written from some indentation, right? I cannot write this from there because G Fortran works like this. So what we do is there is a indentation which will be given by the tab, so you can just put the tab button and you can write this function like this. And some in other let's say apart from G Fortran, if you are using F95, maybe that will not have this kind of restriction. So it depends upon which of the compilers you are using, but the structure will be the same. That will not change from compiler to compiler. Okay, Chagni.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
So can I make a comment?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think in Ubuntu there is Vim. In Vim we can also write.
Yes. Yes. There is Vim. There is some nano kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
In Ubuntu, you can just write the codes in terminal, right? So let's say
Yeah.
nano. Let's say this is q7.f. So here a file is there, right? And then let's
Yeah.
say we are right. So what I have to do here is again I have to put the tab because I am using that thing, right? So what we can do thus is then sorry. So this way we can write. Okay, I am not going to show this thing.
Sir,
Yeah.
actually, I'm asking about that, sir. Can't we do it in on Windows? Like,
Yes,
is there anything?
window also have the thing. There is some I for I don't remember, but there is some ID with which you can just do this. Okay, so I'm
I
not
think in Windows we have to do the virtual box or something.
virtual box. Yes, that is also
Yeah.
there. Correct.
Yeah.
So okay, let just wait for a few minutes. Okay. So what we have is this kind of a code. So now let us have some feeling how this code runs. Fine. So anyone else need to make some comment on this programming? Hello? Hello? So what I am doing is just opening a terminal window, and since I have the compiler named gfortran, I can use that to write this, to compile this code. So just a minute, because I have to upload this video, so I need to do some things before showing these things. Okay, just do it. Yeah. So let's say, yeah, so what we have is this code, right? Check.f. So what we do, that let's say gfortran check.f. okay, if it has some error, then this line will show that whether there will be some error or not. So if it is not showing something, then it will compile correctly, and that will give a file. Like let's say, okay, let's say we are removing this a.out file, okay, and then we are going to do the same thing. Now you will see that a.out file will be there again, which will be created by this line. Then what we'll do,
So by ls command we can see that this executable is created.
yes, that can be seen, correct. ls will give you the all the elements in that thing, in that folder, right? So all of them are there, and then we can remove it again, and then we can show it again also. Fine. So what is my, now I need to run this execute file to have our outputs. So it will give that 1000 and 10,000. Which one? We have a print statement like this, size R and size D. So this 100 is size R and 10,000 is size D. And then let's say mean of 100 random numbers is x1. So we are calculating this x1, and that will give us 0.5. So as we see in some kind of some question, that the mean will be around 0.4 to 0.6. So here you see the mean in again around 0.5, and if we just have the summation, it will be around 500. And so again mean of this now random numbers will be 0.5. So these are things. Now as I told you that it will ask for the theoretical mean, so you have to give the value, which will be 0.5. So as we give the value, it will print y1 and y2, because this is calculating the y1 and y2, and then it will print the values, which is of order of 10 to the power minus 3, which is pretty much less. So then it says that if this, then it will be printing y2 greater than y1. If it is this, then it will print y1 greater than y2. And as you see that the y1 is here 4 into 10 to the power minus 3, whereas this is 1.34 into 10 to the power minus 3. So it is evident that y1 is greater than y2, and this is the result the code is printing. So Tejas,
Yes, sir.
so now I think you understand this, how the things get going. Hello, Tejas.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. So you understand it?
Yes, sir.
How to write a code, how to run it, and how to debug a code basically. So you can make a
Yeah.
print statement anywhere, and then you can just think. So I can just advise you that whenever you are starting to write some code, you can start with something which you know analytically. I mean, you can calculate something analytically, and you can write the code for that, then you know the output, and then you can just check with your programming whether you are writing it in a proper manner or in the right way. And you can make this you can write this print statement anywhere in the code for some call or some kind of after sub execution that will tell you whether the execution is correct or not. Get it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So I think, okay, I am ending with two more questions. These are not in the assignments, I am just going to ask. So these are pretty simple, and I am not expecting the answers from Shaumitro, Shagnik, these people. I am expecting from others because these are the questions from just the lecture notes or the lecture notes or the presentations given by the faculties of this course. So this will give an idea that how much you are listening to the courses. So let's say I am asking Rabia. You can unmute yourself and tell us the first answer of the first question. So how do you define
Uh,
a variable? I am asking
uh,
Rabia.
okay, I cannot give you the answer.
You cannot.
Okay. Myself, Balkrishna Shah
Yes,
from
yes.
MS
You.
University.
I will ask you the second one, but I think first
Okay,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
जी
Rabia.
जी जी correct with right variable names.
Rabia. Rabia. Okay. So let's give the answer through chat box.
Okay, so that
No, no,
is
no. Wait,
first
wait,
one.
wait. BP.
हाँ जी.
Just wait for a minute. Let Rabia write the answer in chat box.
Okay, maybe it's
She is present from the beginning of the class, so I think, and she is not interacting at all. So let's give the opportunity to her to give this answer. I will come to you in the next question. Just mute yourself for now.
okay. Just I am going to.
Rabia, Gapfar,
Hello, sir.
yeah, tell me the answer. What will be the answer for the first
Sir,
question?
yeah, question, sir, on the screen wise, the question is not visible, so I can't see the question.
Question is not visible.
Yeah, to me, I don't know what.
So you don't see the other slides also.
Sir, yes, I saw previously, but this slide I don't know. So just I have
Now you can see.
no, sir. Yes.
Anyone else have the same issue?
No, I can see it clearly.
No, sir, I have some problem. I don't know why.
Tejas?
Sir, I can see.
Okay, so give the answer to the first question. Which will be the correct
The
way?
the first one.
The first one. Okay.
Sorry.
So BP, now it's your turn. Give the answer to the second question.
That second one minute.
This
Yes, first
correct
one.
way
This is
to.
also that is also first one because the second and third is containing special character and third is beginning with a number. So both are not valid.
Yes. So yeah, absolutely correct.
Maybe I have some questions from the video even. I may ask. Okay, let us continue for your talk now.
Okay, so you have some questions.
I was just actually I was going through the videos and I forgot the time 5 to 6. So I entered little bit late.
Okay,
But
okay.
if you want to ask it first, you make your questions and then
I am
if
finished.
possible.
Now you can ask yours.
So let us come to yes.
So are you going to share
Uh,
something?
can I share the screen?
Okay,
Okay,
just one second.
let me verify. Let me verify. Let me verify. Can I share the screen? I think I am not the person who has started the meeting. So can I share or not? I don't know.
Just try it once. If it is problematic, then
I think, sir,
No,
you
I am
have to
just
stop
asking.
share.
yeah, that
Then he can
yeah,
share.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me stop sharing first, and then you can now check.
Yeah,
Okay,
before you can
now,
try.
yeah, just let me try. It is coming with the so small letters I cannot see. Windows or screen. Allow. Leave the website notification while sharing. Allow. Allow. I think somehow I cannot do it. I like to share, but I could not do it. Okay. Select Windows or screen. So Google Meet,
So
Microsoft.
there is there are.
Yeah,
1 minute.
Hello.
Soumitra. Yeah,
Entire screen just. So is it
Yeah,
coming?
enter
the
screen.
entire screen. Yeah.
The screen is coming
Yeah,
now.
yeah, we can see. We
Yes,
can see.
yes,
Okay, now let us come to the. You can see the slide which is given by the
yes,
sir.
yes, yes.
So in this one,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we are beginning with the integer I underscore seed,
Yes,
and that part is argument of the random underscore seed,
yes.
and it's option that the option name is size. Okay, so
This
the
is.
value must be
Uh,
that call random seed,
mm-hmm.
that subroutine.
Mm-hmm.
We are giving the argument as a I underscore seed.
Yeah.
One of the one argument is I underscore seed.
Yes.
So this seed we are not having. We should not have some value provided when the subroutine is called.
Okay. See,
So
the second the next line, you will see that write star comma star I seed,
hmm,
right? It will give the
hmm.
option to write this I seed, now the value of this I seed in the terminal window, and as soon as you write it, then it will do this random seed operation.
Then that call statement should be after the write.
No, no,
I cannot understand.
that should not have any problem here. Okay, so in
Hey, write means what I understand. It is writing to the screen. So by calling the random seed, the ICD is itself is provided from the call, and it is to be displayed on the screen. Is it like
no,
that?
no, no, no. Here the write will give the I seed. You need to write it on the screen. Okay. Is anyone else can shed some light on this?
That should be from read, ne? How I should means I have to
No,
that
no.
the statement must be read, ne? Instead of write. That
Write
should be
will
read.
give you the access to write something, just like a print statement. Okay, write is just same as print.
It is a print. Okay, okay.
Yes,
So why the random underscore seed is that call is first and then ICD is taken? That I
that
cannot
will
understand.
don't have any problem, because your this random seed subroutine, okay, this will be written in an abstract manner. It will
Hmm.
not have a particular value within it, so it will call, and then it will execute, and then when it is execute, it will ask for the value of I seed, and then you can give that value in the window.
That is okay. That is the way in which the random ICD is written.
Yes, absolutely.
I got the idea. So within the subroutine, it is asking for input,
Input.
and that is
Yes.
taken from the
Yeah.
right statement.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, taken
Yeah.
through the right statement. Yes, yes. Okay, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Fine.
Okay, so then I should stop it or meet. I'm just
Is anyone else has any question? Hello. Shaumitro, Shaknik,
So,
Tejas.
so one question: when we actually need in physics problem, when we need this seed changing,
Seed changing.
changing mean this random number. If we called and we did not define the seed, then it is giving 0 to 1 and taking from Gaussian,
Mm-hmm.
and it will again and again it will give from the Gaussian, and
Gaussian. Yeah.
in and this seed is I think this random seed will change the
Upper
random
and
number
lower limit.
sequence. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So when we need actually, I want to get a feel for this physical problem.
Let's say um you have a
Hmm.
random walk problem. Let's say you have an ensemble of many particles. Okay.
Okay,
And
okay.
then you need to generate the velocities since they are randomly walking. So the
Hmm.
velocities will be random, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't expect all of the velocities to lie between 0 and 1. That can
Okay,
have any
okay.
value. Let's say you can give a range to 0 to 100. Okay, that you can define.
Yeah.
And that will give you all the velocities between 0 to 100 instead of 0 to 1. And as
Okay,
you increase the range, that will increase the randomness of the ensemble, and that will be a
okay,
better for a simulation to run.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Thank
Shagnik,
you, sir.
I think you are telling something.
No, sir. I was telling that I don't have any question. Any more question?
Okay, so everyone learned something through the session, or you know these things from beginning and just yeah, PP.
Actually, I am teaching computational physics at MS University, but just I joined the course to learn something more in deeper or may having some another perspective of computational physics.
Okay,
So actually, I am focusing right now with the Python only, but the
Python, yeah.
basic concepts, but the basic concept of the programming can be studied from the even Fortran C any language.
Yeah,
So I think
Python
I
is
am
basically Python is much more easier than Fortran or C, because that is kind of more
yeah, yeah.
more user friendly.
More
You can,
more comfortable, and functions are also in a variety
I
of the
mean,
way you can
there does not
use
have
it.
so many syntax. I mean, Fortran
Uh,
is again okay, but if you look for C or C++, there will be so many syntax. So for
Too
physicists,
much,
I
too
think
much.
for
But even
physicists,
Python it is not like that. But the
yeah,
thing is, Jupyter editor is a very advanced editor that easily we can write up the code and check it immediately.
yes,
That was
absolutely,
the advantage I am taking. Otherwise, G Fortran is enough for testing the things and everything.
yes,
It is
yes,
well. I am
correct,
working for the G Fortran also in Linux.
yeah.
So that is good. I request that you have written some code. So are you able to give that code, because I want to verify with some my.
See, I am going to share these slides. Okay,
Okay,
so
fine.
you
Very
can
nice. Very
have
nice.
all the codes what
Very
I
nice.
am writing on the slides.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay, and I
So we
will
will be in
put
touch.
the link of a YouTube video on this lecture,
Huh?
so you can
Mm-hmm.
again access this through that link.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Hello, sir.
yes,
Sir, I have just one small question.
yeah.
Sir, why this course has been taught on Fortran rather than using Python? Is there any
See,
advantage of using Fortran for numerical
uh,
computation?
if you are doing some long programming, okay, let's say some program which will be run for hours, it seems a couple of times that if you write that program in Fortran, it will run faster than in Python. In some times, it does not mean that every time Fortran will faster, but in some cases, like you are solving some partial differential equation through some, let's say you have a wave equation and you are solving for it, then I think Fortran will be more handier than Python in those cases. Okay.
Means, sir, Fortran has a more computational power than Python in some cases.
Yes, but
Uh,
yeah, absolutely. I think it's right.
uh, what I believe, the standard programs which are well tested are well written in Fortran. So it is better to study through the Fortran and then you can apply if possible in Python, because the long
Yes,
programs are scientific programs
Python
are
is
in.
new in the scientific community. So there are so many ready-made programs which are written in Fortran. So
And
let's say
some
so let's say you
sometimes
have
I
some codes to written in Python, and you are developing some scientific idea through that code,
uh,
and you have already some ready-made codes in Fortran,
so
and
cross check can be possible. Cross check
yes,
can be done.
yes, yes. So you need
And
to
even what happens, it is like Mathematica. In Python also, somewhere something goes wrong and you cannot detect it.
yes,
That is the crucial point.
correct.
In Mathematica also, you cannot detect what is the problem, and that time you have to take the help of the Fortran. So Fortran you cannot neglect.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. So anyone else? Tejas? So will the discussion
Yeah, yes, sir.
is helpful for you?
Yes, sir. It was helpful.
Okay. So let's meet on the next day.
Okay.
Okay. Shagnik, I think you know coding beforehand. So is it
Not much,
something?
sir. A little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Okay. So see you on the next Sunday. Thank you very much for attending.
Thank you,
In
sir.
between, we can post question in forum and
Yes.
we can mail you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Just put the subject correctly, okay? Because in the discussion forum or in my email ID there are so many mails. So
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Right.
so just put the subject correctly so that I can view it. Okay.
Yeah,
I will try to
okay.
find some time to get the answers, give the answers to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.